Hi guys, welcome back to PT34 Game 4. Here we're going to take a look at the second method of solving in and out games. These tricky in and out games where you can't maybe see right away that they are in and out games. But we still have two groups, so there's really nothing fundamentally different about these games from the ones that are just like things are either selected or not selected. Here in PT34 Game 4, I've set it up already. We have these two clinics, Souderton and Roundsborough, and these 6 doctors are visiting them. And in the last method we looked at, when you had J in Souderton, you'd represent that with subscript. And I like that method. I think it's ultimately the one I prefer, but I think a lot of people like what we're about to do now. And that's, rather than leaving these as J and S, in our brains we're going to convert them to in and out. So if J is in S, rather than saying, JS, we'll write that just as J, and that's in. And say, P is out, well, rather than doing that as P and R, that would be not P, like we're used to. So say there was a rule J, then not P. If J is, in on the S side, the inside, then that's going to kick this P into the R side, right? So we'll do that sort of transmission in our head, and it is a little extra mental effort, but what it does, the benefit is it then brings you back into a framework that you're more used to with doing the in and out games with like the, J then not P maybe. This is something that we're very used to because that's how most in and out games look. Okay, so for this first rule, we're still going to use the 2 chains method. No reason to change that. That's still the best way to get 2 nice orderly chains. I'll show you in slow-mo how we do this first rule. The first rule is that if J is at S, then K is at R, right? So normally we'd write that like this. This one time I'll show you, how we translate that. Well, JS, that's J in, and then K is out. So J then K, J then K, and then the J then not K rather, and then the contrapositive is going to be K then not J. And just like we normally do with the 2 chains method, we put that contrapositive over on the other side. For the next rule, I'm going to just do it directly into this translation. It's not J then O. If you were doing that, that would be J at R, then O at S, but no need to do it. From now on, we'll just throw it directly in. Then see where you can add that to your chains. We got J, O, and then not O, then J. That's the contrapositive is going to go up onto this chain. Remember, in the 2 chains technique, you add it on one side, then the contrapositive can always get added on the other side. Now that the rule is done, we can just get rid of it. Next one is L, then not N, and not P. So and not P. That can't link up yet, so let's just leave it off to the side for now. Our next rule is not N, then O. Or not O, rather, sorry. Not N, then not O. So that can link up. Not N, not N, then O. And then the contrapositive is O in, then N in as well. And that goes on the other side of the chain. So now we're done with that rule. And suddenly you notice this can link up. So L, then not N, and not P. And then the contrapositive of that is going to be N or P, then not L. And that rule's done now. Last rule is not P, then K and O. So we should be able to see that this is going to be pretty easy to get on over on this side. Not P, then K and O. And then let's get this out of the way, but the contrapositive would be K, not K, or not O, then P. Get that out of the way, and P. And there, we've completed the chains now, and it's something that we're very used to working with. So, we've done the whole game over already in PT34 Game 4 with Method 1. So I'll just show you one question for an example of how this is going to look when we solve it. So let's look at 24, jump to a harder question. If K is at Souderton, which must be true? So that's K is going in the in group. So we just look for K being in, and then we see that triggers J's out, so in R, O's in S, N is in over in S, and then L is out. So then you just look in the answers for what must be true. J at S, so J in, no, that's out. N at S, so N in, yes, that must be true. So as long as you can quickly do that translation in your head that NS means N in, you may find that this is a better way for your brain to solve these games. So it's a second option, and make sure you at least look at method 1 if you're just seeing this video, and you see if maybe you like that method better. Okay, so that's the game. This has been a method of handling these tricky in and out games where the groups have names, so it's kind of disguised, but it's still just two groups, remember, and anytime there's two groups, that's just an in and out game. And you're usually going to be handling that with the 2 chains method because they're almost always just a bunch of conditional rules. Okay, see you on the next game.